Have you ever found yourself mesmerized by a pimple-popping video? Maybe you've spent way too long watching someone squeeze blackheads, feeling oddly satisfied, yet slightly disgusted at the same time. You're not alone. And believe it or not, there's some fascinating science behind why millions of us can't look away. I'm here to break down what's really going on in your brain when you watch these videos or feel that irresistible urge to pop your own pimples. And trust me, the answer is way more interesting than you might think. First, let's get clear on what we're actually looking at. Blackheads and pimples aren't the same thing. A blackhead, technically called a comedone, is basically a clogged hair follicle filled with keratin or sebum. That black color? It's not dirt. It's actually the keratin oxidizing when it hits oxygen, kind of like how an apple turns brown when you cut it open. Pimples, on the other hand, are usually related to acne. They're inflammatory, which is why they get red, swollen, and sometimes filled with pus. Now here's where it gets wild. Whether it's blackheads or pimples, our obsession with popping them taps into something deeply evolutionary. And it all comes down to one surprisingly powerful emotion: disgust. You might be thinking, wait, if I find it disgusting, why do I enjoy watching it? That's the paradox. Disgust is actually one of the most flexible emotions we have. Unlike anger or happiness that just wash over you, disgust is heavily shaped by learning and context. It's the emotion that requires the most social instruction to develop. Think about it this way. A little kid will put anything in their mouth: dirt, toys, whatever. They haven't learned what's dangerous yet. As we grow up, we're taught what to avoid, what's contaminated, what could make us sick. This is called the disease avoidance model, and it's been crucial to human survival. But here's the twist. Because disgust is so socially learned, it's also incredibly context dependent. Researchers have done experiments where they had people put their hands in boxes and touch different textures. When they told people this feels like vomit, the disgust response skyrocketed, even though it was just water. Same liquid, different reaction, all because of the instruction they received. The same thing happens with pimple-popping videos. When you're watching on your phone, at a safe distance, with good framing that shows just the pore and not the person's face or pain, your brain recognizes this as a controlled environment. You're not actually in danger of infection. You're not the one in discomfort. So instead of pure disgust, you get this weird, satisfying pleasure. It's exactly like riding a roller coaster. You know that if you jumped off a 20-story building, you'd die. But strap yourself into a roller coaster, and suddenly, your brain processes that same falling sensation as thrilling fun, because the context tells you it's safe. Scientists have found that people with higher levels of anxiety and stress actually watch these videos more frequently. Why? Because they provide tiny, controlled bursts of satisfaction. It's the same reason you might watch compilation videos of amazing sports plays or cute animal clips when you're procrastinating. Your brain craves those small rewards, especially when you're dealing with big, unsolvable stressors. There's also an evolutionary behavior called social grooming that plays into this. You see it across species: birds picking bugs off cattle, monkeys grooming each other, even kangaroos letting certain birds pull ticks right out of their fur, sometimes leaving them bleeding. These animals tolerate mild discomfort because the cleaning behavior benefits the species as a whole. For humans, squeezing someone else's pimples, especially a partner or family member, taps into this same bonding instinct. It's intimate. It shows trust. In Japan, there's even a common trope in media of girlfriends cleaning out their boyfriend's earwax as a sign of closeness. Weird? Maybe. But it's rooted in the same deep evolutionary behavior. And get this. Researchers studying medical students found that when they showed images of lice, scabies, and bedbugs during a lecture, students would unconsciously start scratching themselves. Just seeing parasites on someone else triggered a physical response, like their bodies were trying to protect them from contamination that wasn't even there. That's how powerful the disgust response is. It affects us even when we're just watching from a distance. Now, the million-dollar question: is popping pimples actually bad for your skin? In general, yes. When you squeeze with your bare hands, you risk introducing bacteria, causing infection, and potentially leaving scars. If you're going to do it, dermatologists recommend washing your hands thoroughly, using proper tools, and applying a warm cloth first to open the pores. Or better yet, leave it to the professionals who know what they're doing. Dr. Sandra Lee, also known as Dr. Pimple Popper, turned this fascination into a YouTube empire with millions of subscribers. She doesn't just pop pimples, she removes cysts, lipomas, and other skin growths. For some people, watching the bigger extractions crosses the line from satisfying to nauseating. Everyone has their threshold where it stops being pleasure and becomes pure disgust. What's remarkable is how personal that threshold is. Some people salivate watching these videos. Others can't make it through 5 seconds. And it all depends on your individual learning history, your cultural background, and how your particular brain has been trained to regulate that disgust response. So if you're someone who loves these videos, you're not weird or gross, you're just human, responding to deeply wired survival instincts in the safety of a modern, controlled environment. And if you hate them, that's human too. We all have different calibrations for what triggers pleasure versus revulsion. The takeaway here is that disgust, this emotion we barely think about, is actually running the show behind so many of our behaviors, from what foods we eat, to what videos we watch, to how we bond with the people we love. It's endlessly flexible, constantly learning, and far more complex than just, that's gross. Next time you find yourself down a rabbit hole of pimple-popping videos at 2 in the morning, just remember, your brain is doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. You're just doing it with Wi-Fi and a smartphone.